So, here are some ideas I have from software to hardware to make screens on mostly computers better for disabled and more people to use, and just more convenient. One is simply to have a system where you can control where the files are actually. And by that I mean, it's sometimes when you make new files on a computer, they appear in a crowded section or a random section, and it can hard to find on desktop and stuff. If you had the ability to say that files appear in this blank spot every single time, and then you drag and drop it, or standardized location, or location that you set beforehand each time, then it might be easier to find the files, and the files might be in a nicer location. Just a quick idea right there. Another idea is to tell it how the files should look like, so that the files have maybe distinctive shapes and coding schemes and stuff more that appear on your computer. Maybe every file about work is red, for example. Maybe certain files have a circular symbol, and maybe this will be something that can be voice controlled when it can hard to type it, or as something I previously discussed, text controlled, where you text in how you want something and it does it for you, like Siri but by text. Another idea is to have a device, and I'll have devices on the screen that can modify how your screen looks here and there, such as maybe you have a little device that you move around and it darkens parts of your screen back and forth, but not the whole screen. And that darkened part of the screen is something you don't see as easily, so you can focus more on the highlighted reasons, and the other reasons don't distract you as much. Or you can have the inverse, a device that you move around that highlights certain aspects of the screen to make them more easily seen and better. You can have a bunch of, or you can have devices in other ways to work on the screen. Underline parts of the screen, circle ones, but hold gadgets off to the side that now then you can access. Or maybe access by hitting a certain combination of keys, and it's a standard array of stuff to do all that. In similar vein, you could have something that is just a local magnifier of everything. And that local magnifier is just another tool for you to better see stuff. Another idea is to have a device that lets you actually draw on stuff and use those symbols that you draw or you make as like the folder or something section, and not necessarily always draw stuff to make custom pictures for folders, but maybe you can download an image and use that as your folder or document thing, something like that that's just more customizable. Or maybe you can have a way of shapes or tell it what to do. Just some ideas right there. So, an extension of this is that if you use this software, someone else then wants to use your computer stuff, they might be unfamiliar with it because everything looks different from computer to computer, or if you send stuff over. So maybe there is a way to quickly turn it back into a default or into your own style settings to some extent, back and forth, and send different style settings to different people. And these style settings might also be something that you download. Someone has pre-prepared it for you to use. So you can just use one that you find useful, or your job site is using, or people you're collaborating with. So you just have a standard array of settings. You don't have to design it yourself. Everyone copy you. Another thing that I could personally find more useful is a better dark mode. Because I have tried to use dark mode on my phone and stuff a couple times, and I really like dark mode when it's mostly just text and nothing else. But I don't like it when it's pixels or something, or the game or something. Then sometimes it actually ends up being brighter. So let's design a smarter dark mode that only makes certain things dark, like mostly text things. Another one would be to maybe use 3D screens to make stuff pop out more on your screen, or you can make it so that there's more bumps on it. So when you feel it, you can find stuff more by feeling, even if it's not physically looks 3D, there's just small bump or something there. You get this haptic feedback that when you just you touch your screen, when you just approach something or on your other thing, it gives you a little shake to just make you notice it more. So incorporating that might help with a lot of ways. Another idea is instead to have a whole dual screen thing going around, or foldable screens, or screens that pop out of your computer, and that just could help in a variety of ways, and maybe it lets you have a bigger screen sometimes, so you just find stuff more easily because it's more spread out, or you can make stuff bigger. Maybe you're used to working certain modes. Sometimes you like to have a smaller screen because you don't want as much visual stimuli, because you might be having a migraine. Sometimes you find that maybe having a dual screen where all of one item is located on the bottom screen and all one item is located on the top screen might work better. Or maybe you want a mode where all the stuff is on one screen and all the features and command stuff is on the bottom screen and you can change it. Maybe you have one screen that you're looking at and another screen someone else is looking at. And together you can collaborate more easily that way because you're not touching the same screen. And I'm including, again, just this computer where both the keyboard and the screen is what normally would be the keyboard is also screen, to foldable devices, to devices with screens that pop out, to ones where there might be that this mobile computer sharing the same screen thing with pop up. So I'm including a lot in that general statement. Another idea is to have stuff like e-ink and the like, which are a bunch of technologies that are not as bright as LEDs, and backlit ones, but they can work better in a variety of lighting conditions because they don't have glare in the same way, and they can rely on natural light, so they can work very well in very bright light. The response times of those displays are a lot lower and a lot less bright, so they might not work very well in very dimly lit places. Sometimes that might be advantage if you have migraines and stuff. So if you can find some combo screen that has both screen types in together, you might get the best of both worlds. And it also might save electricity, so you thing lasts longer. So maybe a way of in the future giving better feedback, besides haptic controls where it changes shape or vibrates. Haptic kind of means touch, vibrates to give you idea of stuff. Maybe there's ones that give you little electric shocks, depending on where you're on the screen, to tell you information. Or maybe certain parts of the screen gets a little hot on other parts to give you some information in the future. That might be in something nice. Another idea is to have buttons on better placed on a better level. Smart buttons, what happens is if I put my phone or something on my keyboard, it presses the button oftentimes and I don't notice it, and that causes me trouble. Other things, so having the buttons a little more depressed down might be a useful feature. or having the whole thing be a touchscreen. Another idea is to have the whole thing as a touchscreen, so you have more customizability there. And the last idea is to make everything more easy to clean, so it's more easy just to maintain and use and see the screen, and people more likely touch it. Well, thank you very much for listening. Please like and subscribe. We really have to turn out. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers in a year, 4,000 watts house. This is really hard, but with your help, I think I can do it. Also, if any ideas for future videos, comments, or suggestions, please leave in the comment section below. Again, thank you very much. Goodbye.